Hey Masters, if you know me and you've been listening to my podcast, you know health and nutrition is number one. Check out AdvoCare products. I am a distributor. Go to livelongersmarter.com. We got everything you could imagine for your health and nutrition goals. If you're interested, at the end of the podcast, at the very end, there'll be more information on the products. Also, LandVoice is one of our sponsors. They have amazing services. If you need leads, please check out LandVoice for FSBO, expired, circle prospecting, a dialer, whatever you need. Go to davidihill.com. Affiliates, you can click the LandVoice link and all of the special opportunities will be there.
Get ready for one more sale. Inspiring you with ideas through powerful and engaging interviews with top performers of their field. Now, join us as we discuss techniques and strategies of the coolest and most successful people on the planet.
If your payoff was 10 times bigger than what you calculated, hard changes. Managing 400 apartments is hard, man. Managing 4,000 is harder, but it's a lot better. Be dissatisfied with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Have integrity about your potential. You can do more. You deserve to do more. You should make more money. You should close 6 deals a week, not 6 deals a year. Be the beacon. Be the best in the game.
What up, Masters? It's David Hill here with another episode of Path to Mastery, bringing you the best of the best on your path, my friends, to sales mastery. And guys, this week I went out and found you. Listen, Grant Cardone. What? Last week we had Mel Robbins. So, we're bringing you the best of the best in the industry, right? The best of the best in sales. You know, Grant, I don't even know if I need to tell you who he is, but this guy's the 10X Rule book, huge success in sales. He's wrote 10 books. The guy's a beast. And you're going to be able to tell listening to him that he's a beast because he literally is. He's a beast. He tells you the way it is, and if you don't like it, you don't like it. That's he's about working hard. He's about 10X and everything, and just achieving results through straight out working. And, I think sometimes that's a message we need to hear because I know these days, a lot of people don't really want to hear that message. So anyway, I think he did a really great job of just kind of delivering an old school message about hard work and putting in the effort and doing what we need to do to achieve results. So enjoy Grant. And before that, speaking of work, I have got a special opportunity for my listeners right now. I have my master camp, guys. Done this once before where we're actually going to take the sales playbook and we're going to dissect the book, guys. And we're going to spend, and this is a mastermind group for 20 people that are going to have the opportunity to mastermind once a week with me via video Skype or video Zoom. And also every week have accountability partners. And we're going to, like I said, we're going to go through the sales playbook and we're going to really dissect the whole art of sales and prospecting, from everything from, understanding behavior and talking about the DISC assessment and what to look for to connecting with people, to the language you're using, to literally call reluctance, right? You guys know I teach agents to prospect, and we go deep into scripts and dialogue and what to say. And we're going to do that too, but we're going to also get into the mindset behind a lot of this. The reasons why a lot of us fail, and that's what's in the book. We're going to talk about Road to Mastery, getting systematized. Man, systems, I'll tell you, years ago, if people ask me like, wow, why have you been so successful in prospecting? I would have told you because I'm really, really good with scripts. What I've realized is I'm really systematized, to be honest with you, because we realize that 70% of our business comes from follow-up. So anyway, listen, Master Camp starts August 7th. So we have some opportunities for you if you're a listener to Path to Mastery. And what I want you to do is email me. And this is even before the episode goes live, okay? The link's on the site. Email me, and I'm going to give you $100 off. Just email me, mastercamp@david@davidihill.com. David@davidihill.com. Email me mastercamp to get $100 off. and I will send you the details on the camp. Okay, that said, my friends, listen, Grant Cardone kills it for us. And one more thing. Referrals, guys. We just did an amazing referral for someone else, sent us a really nice referral in Auburn. They're buying with us, got their house under agreement right away, first day on the market. 35 people came to our open house, 9 offers. We got them over asking. It's a referral somebody else sent us. Obviously, the clients are happy, and the agent that sent them to us gets his referral check, and he looks like a rock star. So we want to do that for you guys anywhere in Massachusetts. We got you covered. If we don't have you covered, I will do the research for you and find you the best guy. We got you covered. Hey, listen, you rock. Enjoy Grant Cardone. Hey, Masters, welcome to another episode of Path to Mastery. Guys, listen to this. We have a special treat for you guys. We are with the one and only Grant Cardone. Hey, man, what's going on, Grant?
Good, David. Good. I'm doing great. I'm in Malibu. I've been on a working vacation.
Man, sounds like you're roughing it up, brother. Roughing it up, huh?
You know, I'm still working, buddy. I'm still pushing, shoving, closing, pitching.
Good stuff. Well, you don't need much of an introduction, but I mean, you know, I know you from, and you've been selling for years and years. I've been reading your books, listening to your videos, watching you on YouTube, man. You've been on all the big guys podcasts. You're just killing it. So for people who don't know who the heck you are, tell us, who's Grant Cardone?
Well, number one, I apologize if you don't know who I am. This interview, if you don't know who I am, will leave you either liking me a lot or probably hating my guts. That seems to be how people, you know, it's one way or the other with me. Some people don't like that I just kind of, you know, the brutal truth of the situation. I lay it out just the way I see it. It doesn't mean I'm right. You know, maybe I'm not right for some people. I've worked for some of the largest sales organizations in the world. Sprint, Ashley. I've worked with the U.S. military. You know, it's interesting. Why would a sales guy be interested or work with the U.S. military? It's because their number one problem with the Marines or Army or Coast Guard is recruiting. So I went in there to help a battalion actually in increasing their recruiting, which is a sales job. You know, I raised $107 million for charities last year. That's a sales job. I've worked with Ashley Furniture. They want to compete online, and they also want to compete at the retail level. That's a changing space. It's very volatile right now, a lot of change going on. I work with them for both their online sales and their traditional box sales. I've worked with Toyota, Chrysler, Nissan. Every automobile manufacturer has hired me to customize and make their sales process more customer friendly. And I've worked with companies that are just online companies that are trying to figure out how to convert more business online. I own 5 companies myself, so I'm not just the guy speaking from the stage. I know how challenging it is to grow a business, build a business, scale a business, keep employees, hire salespeople, motivate salespeople. I know what it's like when you lose somebody that's good. I've done all that. We'll do about $100 million, a little over $100 million this year in sales. I own a real estate portfolio worth about $500 million, $540 million. So I don't take a haircut here. In case somebody's out shopping my portfolio, they hear me say $500 million, they come after me. I said, no, it's 543 today.
Nice. All right, so before we started recording, you told me you started sales at 17, but I think you said around 25 is when you really started sales. So tell us about that.
I worked in a clothing store, and they didn't teach me how to sell. I was just waiting on people. They called me a salesman, but I wasn't. I was a waiter. I cleaned tables in a restaurant. I was as close to being a salesman as a busboy as I was my first 5 or 6 jobs as a salesperson, because I wasn't learning anything. It was all personality based. It was all numbers. I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, just because you're on a basketball court doesn't make you a basketball player. In sales, if you're on a sales showroom or you're online or you got something to sell, they call you a salesman. But, I mean, that doesn't make you a salesperson or a saleswoman, much less an expert or a master. So when I was 25, I had been selling for 8 years off and on, hated it. Still, actually, I'll just tell you, to be honest with you, I still hate sales today. There's nothing I really like about it unless it's easy. It's not like nobody loves to sell. Man, I want the money that comes with it. I want the score. I want the close. I want the business. I want the hope.
So tell us, I mean, when you say you hate sales, like how do we relate to that? Like, what is that? Like, I get what you're saying about I love negotiation, right?
Let's everybody be honest, okay? The plumber ain't going to tell you he loves plumbing. The guy building houses, does he love building houses? Maybe he does. I don't know. I mean, look, I'm a parent of 2 kids. I don't love being a parent every second of the day. There's some parts of it I don't like. I'm a great parent. I love my kids. But the point is, you don't have to love everything, man. Like, why does everybody think, I got to love this? Okay, maybe you don't. Maybe you hate it. Because I hear a lot of people say, I'm not made out for sales. I'm not a sales type. I'm not a person. I don't like selling. Okay, big deal, bro. Big deal you don't like selling. I don't like dancing that much because I'm not good at it. I don't like ice skating because I ain't good at it, okay? People say, I don't like social media. I say, because you ain't good at it. You don't like things because you're not good at it. Now, let's talk. A bigger question is, what would you have to do to fall in love with sales? And the only way you can fall in love with sales is if you make a lot of damn money. And then you'll love the deal. I know people that make $6 million a year in commissions. They love sales. They love it. They love the whole thing, right? Now, that doesn't mean they like prospecting or keeping a pipeline full or follow-up. They don't like rejection, but they like that $6 million. That's $500,000 a month, by the way.
Yeah. You know, this is actually bringing me into your book, The 10X Rule, right? One of my favorite books that you've written. What is the essence of the book first, and then we're gonna get into the book.
Well, the 10X Rule, you know, first of all, everybody needs to know, when I write a book, I don't write a book to sell to people. I write a book because I'm trying to solve a problem of my own. The 10X Rule was written when I was 55 years old, and I wrote that book because I was at a crucial place in my life where I was trying to solve a problem.
Hold on a minute. Did you say 55 years old?
Yeah. I wrote that book 4 years ago.
Oh, you look great, my friend. Wow. Good for you.
Thank you.
Sorry to distract you, man, but you just look awesome.
Yeah, thank you. I wrote that book because I was trying to solve a problem, and the problem I was trying to solve is, why have I worked this hard in my life, right? And I'm still like not at a level that I think I should be at. I think a lot of people have this. Not many people talk about it, but I think a lot of people have a sense of not feeling accomplished. And the 10X Rule was the 4th book I wrote. I was worth, at the time of that book I wrote, I don't know, $20 million, 25 maybe. Great marriage, 2 beautiful kids, 3 businesses. But dude, I still felt like, man, why am I not feeling accomplished here? And by the way, what do I do from here? Where do I go from here? Okay. Now, everybody that's listening, don't get all caught up in the numbers, right? They're just zeros anyway. Maybe your deal is you're broke. Maybe you got 20 grand in the bank. Maybe you got 200 grand in the bank. Maybe you've been working for 25 years, or maybe you're just getting started. Okay. I would encourage everybody to give yourself permission to be disappointed in yourself. The 10X Rule is really a book about quit settling. It's a book that none of my books are ever finished, by the way. All my books cook up another book. And again, I write books to solve my own problem, right? So the 10X Rule was basically, where do I go from here? You know, what has worked for me up to this point? What has not worked for me? And at 55 years old, when I was looking around, I'm like, man, dude, when am I going to make a play here? When am I going to make a real move? You know, when am I going to break out? I tell my wife all the time, I said, baby, I think we're close. I think we're close to a breakout. So the 10X Rule was basically, hey, what would I have to do? And man, it's like, what if I multiplied? What if I doubled? Nah, that wouldn't do it. What if I tripled? No, that wouldn't do it. What if I 10X'd everything? And I'm like, all of a sudden, when I got to the number 10 multiplier,
I love it.
I was like, if I went from 25 million to 250 million, if I went from 400 units to 4,000, how much of a game changer would it be for me? I own a bunch of apartments. And if I went from selling 1 million books to 10 million books, if I went from 4 million people knowing me to 40 million people knowing me, how big of a change would it be? And I was like, dude, I've been thinking too small, man. Okay. So in the last 4 years, this is what I did. I went to 4,000 units. I went from flying first class on American Airlines on upgrades to owning my own jet. I went from taking no vacations in the last 5 years to 2 a year that are extended 1 month vacations. I'm in Malibu right now, hanging out in this house on the ocean, costing $100,000 a week to be here. Now, I'm not telling you that to like brag or pat myself on the back. I'm telling you the power of multipliers that most of the people I've worked with in my career, except for a handful, think too small. And I know that's been true about me in my whole life and why I have been so disappointed at what I've achieved.
So I want to break down that because, be disappointed in yourself, you said earlier, and then you just said people think too small. I agree with you 100%. How does let's say somebody is thinking too small, what would you say to that person? Like, how do they take it to the next level?
Well, first of all, I would tell everybody that they are thinking too small without even meaning it, just for the sheer sake of gravity, and meaning the agreed upon, I can't fly, that most of our ideas, including our goals and our realities, are basically adopted because of our surroundings. So if I ask somebody, how much money is a lot of money? Whatever answer you give me is colored by your upbringing.
I agree. Yeah.
Right? So I grew up middle class. Now, the only thing worse than being born middle class is maybe poor, but maybe not. Okay. Actually, I think middle class people actually have it off worse than the poor guy does, because the middle class are tricked into thinking they're secure, or as Kanye says, secure. And the middle class really is the most overlooked people in the world because they appear to have their 2 cars, kids are going to schools, they got a house, and everything's cool until 2009 comes and the entire middle class gets wiped out. By the way, poor people were not affected in 2009. It was the middle class that got wrecked. Now, that's not to say poor people should be overlooked, that they didn't get hurt. But look, who got hurt the worst?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Middle class got wiped out. I mean, the biggest transfer of wealth in the history of the United States. Why? It came from the middle class. It came from people that are average. This is why people will decide to like me or not like me at this point. The middle class is 200 million people that have settled for average.
Interesting. Well, hey, you tell it like it is. So that's for sure. And that's what I like about you, my friend.
Yeah.
So the 10X, I'm going to get back to 10X because here's the thing. In your book,
I'm talking about 10X right now, man.
And I get it. And in your book, man, it's going to be 10 times harder than expected.
Yeah.
And I think that's the one we struggle with. At least myself, man.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that. And how the hell do we get through that?
Look, when you do a business plan, when a guy does a business plan, I started 5 businesses from scratch, 6 really, because one of them failed. When I did the math, everybody does math. Okay, I'm gonna go call on 100 customers. I'm gonna get in front of 50. I'm gonna sell 25 of them. No, you're not. None of that's gonna happen. First of all, you're never gonna get to. It's gonna take you forever to get in front of the first 100 because you're scared shitless. Okay, and when you get in front of the 100, if that ever happens, because you are so scared. By the way, why wouldn't you be scared? You've never done it before, right? So you see, again, I'm giving people permission, dude. Look, man, just whatever you're scared of, do it. Okay, everybody's scared. Everybody's introverted. Nobody likes this game. Be disappointed with yourself. See, this is what your mom and daddy told you not to do. Oh, little David, I love you so much, David. David, you could call your mom and say, Mom, I'm going bankrupt. I love you just the way you are, little Davy. Okay, my mom told me that. My mom must have told me that 1,000 times, man. Mom, I'm going to start a real estate business. Oh, that's good, but I love you just the way you are. And I'm like, hey, I don't love me just the way I am. I know I got a real estate business in me, okay? For instance, when I started that business, man, I went in thinking too small. I went in based on my budget. I went in based on how much money I had rather than thinking how much money there is. So everything I looked at was small. I had to start small. David, you got to walk before you run, little Davy. See what I'm saying, though? You see the training?
Yeah, so here's a perfect example, Grant. I own the top real estate team in Worcester, Massachusetts, 2014. We're selling 100 and something sides a year, right? 112 sides. So I figure, you know what? The price point's so low. I'm going to move my team out to Westboro where the price point's 3 times higher.
Yeah.
So I figured, I'm going to go into this and it's going to take me, 6 or 8 months, and I'm going to and I'm going to triple, quadruple my business with the same amount of volume. Here I am 2.5 years later, and it's just starting to work for me.
Yeah.
And I wish I would have understood the 10X rule going into that.
See, the deal, when you started the idea, the guy has an idea, but again, the idea is based on gravity. It's based on surroundings. It's based on the data, the information you have, not the knowingness. I tell people, man, look, quit learning. Know something. I don't read to learn. I read to know. I study to know. I get data. It means I know something, not I learn something, right? I know how to grow that thing out, right? I know that it's going to take you way longer than you thought it was going to do because you were doing basic math. Basic math that was made up by people, dude. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 0. Those numbers are made up. Everything's made up, right? $1 million, 600 grand, 400 grand, 10 agents. Business is hard. Business is easy. It's all made up. It's all fabricated in our thinking. So when I say 10X, the first reason is you should have said, okay, I'm going to go to 10 markets at the same time, not Westboro.
Well, that's what we're doing now.
See, I would have done that from the get-go.
No doubt, no doubt.
Listen to this. Never, ever depend on one of anything, ever, except one wife or one husband.
Yeah. Well, you're absolutely right. And the reality is now in Westboro, we're actually just expanded back to Worcester.
Yeah.
A month and a half ago and set somebody up in Worcester. If you love what you heard on this episode and you're looking for more techniques, tools, strategies, and ideas, simply go to thesalesplaybook.net and get yourself a copy of the Sales Playbook. You can also go directly to Amazon, type in the Sales Playbook, and buy your copy today. So let's break it down for our listeners because this is where we struggle, right? It gets hard, and what do people do, Grant? Well, this doesn't work. The timing's not right. You know what? So how do we keep moving forward?
Here's the problem. It got hard because of the payoff. See, if your payoff was 10 times bigger than what you calculated, hard changes. Managing 400 apartments is hard, man. Managing 4,000 is harder, but it's a lot better. Okay? So this is what I say, man. Look, it's going to be harder than you think. So go big. Go big because it doesn't get much harder at some point. But the payoff becomes enormous. So back to this point, okay? The payoff needs to be so big. Okay, why do I want to work out? Dude, I don't want to work out, man. Okay, now watch. I'm going to have a TV show in 30 days, dude. I need to look freaking sweet. The payoff is going to be enormous, dog. Okay, 30 days, I'm going to get in the best shape of my life because I'm going to be on TV every freaking night, right? I want to look freaking chiseled. Payoff is so big, I'm like, let's roll, dude. I'm going to be a star, okay? You see, so people go into a deal, they're like, I just want to make 60 grand a year. I just want to make 120 grand a year. No. You need to 10X that thing and say, I want to go to 600 grand a year or 1.2 million or 12 million a year because the payoff will be so enormous, you're willing to walk through the fire. And that's why people quit. They don't quit because they're quitters. They quit because the payoff is not big enough.
Yeah, I get that, man. Well, hey, I think ultimately what you're giving us, I'm sure it's difficult for a lot of our listeners to even comprehend thinking that big at this point. So obviously we need to get them involved in some of your training and being around that. So that said, I mean, what is the biggest mistake you see salespeople are making? And you've been around real estate, so yeah. Let's use real estate as an example.
Well, the biggest mistake real estate agents make is they don't buy their own real estate. I mean, that's the ultimate biggest mistake that a real estate agent makes. They don't invest in real estate.
Got it. Okay.
That is the biggest mistake.
Perfect.
You know, so I was a car salesman when I was 23 years old. The biggest mistake I made as a car salesman was I never bought a car dealership. That's the thing, man. You know, after not buying your own stuff, the second biggest mistake a real estate agent would make is that you think about being competitive with other real estate agents. Competition. I wrote about this in If You're Not First, You're Last. It was a New York Times bestseller. It's a very specific, strategic book for salespeople. Very, very strategic. It's not the 10X rule or anything like it. And it was basically saying, look, I mean, if you combine those two books with the think and the strategy, you're a killer. Because the If You're Not First, You're Last said, look, competition will kill all your greatness. It does not inspire greatness. It does in some people, small numbers of people. Okay, LeBron's behind 20 points, it freaking turns him on. Tom Brady loves being behind. Okay, most people don't like being behind. You should not, by the way, don't get confused by either one of those guys because both of those guys would much prefer to dominate than to compete. The greats don't compete. The greats want to dominate. They want complete control of the floor. They want to wipe the floor with everyone. And so I would tell the real estate agent, the worst thing that a real estate agent can do is, number one, not buy their own products. And number two, I would tell you, don't compete with the marketplace. Why is that? Because the average real estate agent is horrible. Let's keep it real. Okay. You may as well be a flight attendant. In fact, you might be better off being a flight attendant because at least you got somebody to protect you. You can't lose your job.
All right, man. So listen, tell us
travel a lot.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, I agree with you. I think there's some great agents and some not so great agents.
No, dude, let's keep it real. There's mostly terrible agents.
Well, the reality is it's an industry where the average agent, if you looked at the numbers, sells 6 homes a year. So, and there's over 1 million agents in the industry. So I agree with you, brother. So that said, listen, tell us, I mean, what's next for you, first off? Grant Cardone, what's next, brother?
Dude, 10X, baby.
10X,
man. I'm blowing up. I'm ready to blow up. I'm ready. I want to be on front page. I want to be on the front fold, dude. I want to blow up. I want to blow my game up because now I know I can. So the biggest regret I have in my life is not going bigger sooner. I mean, I love real estate. I don't love real estate agents. I love real estate. Okay. I love professional real estate brokers and agents. Love them. I'll do anything for them. Okay. I don't like anything that reminds me of my old self. And I don't like average. I'm doing a deal with a guy right now. He's done $5 billion worth of real estate deals. $5 billion. I like that dude. You know, I call him about deals. He doesn't even sell to me. What do you think about this deal, Robert? You know, he's a pro, man. The guy's a pro. Works 7 days a week. He's a Christian. He violates the Sunday rule. He's available for me 24/7, 365. I mean, most real estate agents, you can't even get them on the phone, man. So, look, what's my play? Okay, my play is to wake people up. I know most people will not like this interview. I understand that. I'm good with that. The people that don't like this interview are not my audience.
Yeah.
It's the ones that do like the interview. They're like, that's some true shit he's throwing down, man.
Yeah, no doubt. I hear you.
The only people that wouldn't like this interview, man, are people that have stopped working the deal. And by the way, you top people. You're top of your game, but you know you're at the end of your game. You know, you've been at the top of your game for a long time, and now you're plateauing. You know where you're going now, huh? You're going down. Well, you see, you won't like this interview either. You guys are on the hustle on the way up. You're like, dude, that's what I want. I want to take out the top people. You're going to have your chance because they're going to go rest. They're going to rest on the laurels of yesterday. So my goal is to wake people up and say, look, be dissatisfied with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Have integrity about your potential. You can do more. You deserve to do more. You should make more money. You should close 6 deals a week, not 6 deals a year. You know, be the best in the game. Be the beacon. You know, be so good. Be Michael Jackson of real estate. Do the moon dance, man. When you walk in the room, suck the freaking air out of the room. Like, oh my God, heels here.
Love it. Well, hey, man, I'm your guy from Massachusetts, man. I hope if you need something in Mass, you call me, all right, my friend?
I will.
We cover Massachusetts. We will take phenomenal care of you, and I will answer my phone, my friend. I guarantee you that. So listen, I know you got some events coming up. Tell us about your TV show. You say you're going to be on TV in a month. What's that all about?
I can't tell you too much about it, but I can tell you it's about real estate.
All right, good to know. And you got a couple more events. You got the Grant Cardone Boot Camp. You also got the 10X Growth Con, right?
Yeah, we have a boot camp. We have a 3-day boot camp in Miami in July. It's GrantCardoneBootCamp.com.
Okay.
It's a 3-day. If you're having trouble with sales, marketing, promotion, I don't care what your problem is. Attracting salespeople, growing salespeople, inspiring salespeople, whatever your problem is, what we're going to do is 100 people are going to come to Miami. We're going to spend 3 days, me and my team, figuring out what your problem is. This is a very intimate group. Last deal I did had 2,500 people in the room. This is going to be 100 people, professionals.
Love it.
And we're going to sort out what your sales problem is. It could be social media, could be attention, could be marketing, could be follow-up, whatever. And we're going to sit there for 3 days until we work it out. The goal is to double your sales in the next 12 months. My real goal, don't tell anybody, dude. My real goal is to 10X their shit.
Awesome. What kind of an investment is that, Grant?
I think it's $4,500,
right,
$5,000, something like that. Okay, and I'm taking care of the room. It's a 5-star resort, Turnberry Resort in Miami. I'm taking care of the room.
Beautiful.
So you can bring your husband or wife down.
All right, that sounds very reasonable to me. Now, the last event is 10X Growth Con.
Yeah, well, the other event, let me tell you the other event. In October, I'm doing a mastermind event for 20 couples. It's $25,000 per person. But this is a high-end, very exclusive, very loose, more of an enjoyment, get kickback deal. All the money goes to charity. Make-A-Wish, and Drug-Free America and Drug-Free World are the 3 charities. And then the third event that you're asking about is the 10X Growth Con, which is a 3-day, this is a large event. This is a big, big event, okay? It's going to be in Vegas, Mandalay Bay. I'm spending $3 million on the event. And this is going to be world-class speakers from around the world, big names, okay? Just start thinking about some people you'd want to see, and they're probably going to be there.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Good stuff. So I got a couple more questions as we get wrapping up. Grant, first off, what would you say makes you successful? Like, why are you successful? Why are you the 10X guy?
Why am I successful?
Yeah, if you had to break it down to one thing, man, like what would you say? If someone says, Grant, what's the one thing that makes you this successful in life?
Well, because I got it all, man. I mean, I don't just have the money. I literally have, I'm a guy that has it all. I got a beautiful wife, 2 beautiful kids. You know, I understand myself spiritually. Even though you would say probably from this interview, I'm not content with myself, I'm actually very happy with myself. Even though I'm pushing myself, even though I'm always like, I'm not satisfied, I am extremely content. Like I'm very at peace with who I am. Even though I'll tell you, I haven't reached my full potential. I'm not a very rigid person. I have a lot of fun. I can go from I'm in a $90 million deal today. You know, it's big, one of the biggest deals I've ever done. I mean, these are professionals, dude. I'm not talking about a house. I'm talking about buying a 500 unit complex in one of the best locations in Houston, Texas. And I'm dealing with one of the top 5 publicly held companies in the world in the real estate space. So it's a very intense deal. People get it. I mean, he's got a team that's 50 times bigger than my team.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's all fun for me. Like I'm loose. I'm loose, but I'm serious. I'm like a shark, but I'm also like a friendly dolphin. You know, I mean, you don't know whether to pet me or be scared of me. I'm a cool dude. I have a lot of fun. So, I'm having fun in my life. So I came from nothing. It's a great story. I love people. I don't put up with a lot of bullshit from negative people. Dude, why am I don't quit. I'm good to the people around me, but I'm hard on people. And I figured out how to pull that off. Actually, I'm very, 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 very satisfied spiritually. I know who I am. I know what happens. I'm not in a bunch of mystery about all that, the spirituality of life.
All right. Anything I didn't ask you that I should have asked you?
Yeah, you didn't ask me how good my sex life is, how tall I am. You didn't ask me what I weigh.
All right, brother. Yeah, well, those are all good things, man. You can add them to my show notes, brother. So listen, this podcast is called Path to Mastery. So what's the one thing you want our listeners to take from this interview today that they're either going to love or they're going to hate on their path to sales mastery?
I'm going to use the C word. Can I use the C word on your show?
I don't know what the C word is, but it might get edited out, brother.
Commit.
Oh, there it is. Yes, that's a good one.
You got to commit. Okay, I would just tell everybody, like, what I do is I commit, man. When I decide that I'm doing something, it's all in. Like I never lower a target. I just raise the level of activity. I do things in really short periods of time. I don't have long runways. All
right, love it, man. I appreciate your time, man. You are awesome. You rock, bro. Keep us in mind for Massachusetts as well. All right, love to help you out.
I'm coming, man. I'm coming. You know Herb Chambers over there? You know Herb?
Herb. Who's Herb?
Herb Chambers, man.
Oh yeah, I know Herb Chambers. Yeah. Why, did you work for Herb Chambers?
He's my buddy, man.
Really? Good stuff, man. Yeah, he's the guy in Massachusetts. I think he owns the most dealerships in the whole state.
Hey, you know what Herb told me? I was buying a jet, and he's like, man, you know the difference between a drug addict or crack addict and somebody that owns their own jet? And I said, no, what's that, Mr. Chambers? He's like, you can get over crack addiction. You can never get over flying private.
I love it. All right.
Hey, man.
All right, brother. Be cool, man. Thank you. Thanks for your time. You rock. Hey, Masters, you guys know how important health and nutrition is to me. I just want to talk to you a little bit about products I use called Advocare. I've been using these products for about 1.5 years now, mostly just for energy. They've got a really awesome drink. It's called Spark. If you want to check out anything, I would tell you, go check out the energy drink Spark. That's what I did for, like I said, almost 1.5 years without even trying any of their other products. And then this past January, a bunch of us, January 4th, decided we were going to do the 24-day challenge, which is a 10-day cleanse and then 14 days of just really healthy eating, vitamins, meal replacement, just awesome 24 days just to kind of get yourself on track and get into some right habits. So Richie Ryan did it with us. Guys, he lost, today's February 5th. I think he's at 24 pounds lost since January 4th. Melissa at our office lost 6 pounds. Min at our office lost 5 pounds. Guys, I mean, listen, it's amazing. Regardless, if your goal is losing weight, my goal wasn't losing weight. I did the challenge just so I could experience it. And, I lost a few pounds, but now I put some weight back on because I started using some of the supplements and the protein powder and all the other stuff. So now I've gained about 3 pounds of muscle and just feel awesome. My energy's through the roof. So whether you're looking for energy or you're looking for just wellness, I mean, they've got some amazing green products that I love taking before I go to bed. Or if you're looking for performance, athletic products, we've got the athletic performance products. And then just active, if you're an active adult, maybe getting a little older in the age and you want to just keep everything working the right way and functioning. Listen, Gary Keller said it best. If you don't take care of your body, where are you going to live? And I just love that. So, hey, I just ask you to check out Advocate's products. I'm a distributor, so I'd love to help you, talk to you about your nutrition and health goals. You go to livelongersmarter.com, livelongersmarter.com. If you love what you heard on this episode and you're looking for more techniques, tools, strategies, and ideas, simply go to thesalesplaybook.net and get yourself a copy of the Sales Playbook. You can also go directly to Amazon, type in the Sales Playbook, and buy your copy today.
You are listening to One More Sale with your host, David I. Hill, author of the Sales Playbook. Get your copy at www.thesalesplaybook.net.